Hello, everyone. My name is Jay Bailey, and I am the Vice President of Content Operations and Licensing at Veritone. And I want to, first off, thank all of you for coming. I know you have a tremendous amount of options here at NAB. I really appreciate you taking the time. Today's discussion is going to be really revolving around how you can use AI to accelerate your path to content monetization. At Veritone, we have been involved in content management and monetization for over 18 years. I'm going to go over a use case at the end of the presentation, which was actually our first corporate partner that we not only did content management, but we still continue to do licensing as well for those folks. So at Veritone, our motto or our mission statement is to become your trusted wilderness guide for AI. Now, what does that mean? Veritone aims to serve those looking to be on the cutting edge of new technology, leading the way in creating industry and breaking AI solutions to the challenges that we face both today and tomorrow. Like I said, for 18 years, we've been involved in this content management and monetization, and many of those problems we're still dealing with today. But the good news, and I've had numerous discussions over the last few days, is we believe very strongly that AI is curing many of these obstacles that you see day in and day out. To the right here, you see a list of just some of the media and entertainment and sports companies that we work with, including obviously Odyssey, iHeart, Fox, Bloomberg, the San Francisco Giants, which we'll touch on later as well, ESPN, Westwood One, and CNN. And not only are we involved in media and entertainment and sports, but this is actually crossing over to many other industries. For example, advertising, government, legal and compliance, retail, insurance, healthcare, financial services, and something we're very heavily involved in, which is recruitment. So when we talk about AI and how we think it's really a groundbreaking technology and what it's doing for content monetization and management, I think what's very important that we touch on, and I'm sure all of you know this, but the exponential rate that content is being created. I don't know about how many of you, but my queue at home, I just finished Last of Us, and now I'm on to Succession. Now I've got my true crime stuff. There's just content being produced at an unbelievable rate. And some of the figures that they provided me over the last couple of weeks I wanted to share that are pretty staggering. 500 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute. That's 82 hours per day. In 2021, U.S. adults spent 167 minutes on looking at television and 149 minutes watching digital video. Production in both movies and television has grown incredibly. If you look at that, 3.5 quintillion bytes of data has been produced. More than 90% of the world's data was generated in the last 3 years alone. Pretty amazing stuff. But one of the things I want to focus on, and what we at Veritone is really trying to get people to focus on, is that only 32% of this available data is being used. If you look at that, and we're trying to provide the tools to really take a look at this closely, you're letting content go unused, which means you're really leaving revenue on the table. At Veritone, in our content licensing group, we have been fortunate enough to generate for seven partners over $1 million in revenue in 2022 alone. And we think if you can utilize the tools and the AI and the cognitive engines that we have available to you, we can increase those numbers both from the number of partners that are generating that revenue as well as the revenue. So what are the benefits to having a monetizing solution? First off, I think all of you can attest, when you start to worry about content management, it really is a cost center. You have to pay for digitization, you have to pay for storage, you have to pay to try to enrich metadata. And what we're trying to do for you is to convert that, which I think is incredibly important, is to convert it from a cost center into a profit center. Also, with a monetization solution, a cost-efficient way to expose rights-cleared content for licensing purposes. I'll touch on this a lot in the content licensing slide, but we're able to find moments that you might not have even known existed, which can really have a second life. For example, if you're a newscast or a news entity, and you get this breaking story or an amazing interview or an incredible moment, if you're able to then tag that content, utilize our AI engines, you can then convert that into additional revenue, a second life for your content. We get content to the market much faster. When we sign on a content licensing partner, we like to have their content available to folks tomorrow. So we'll work with you to really move the process along. We try to maintain branding across your platforms, and we really take premium content seriously. We think it demands a premium experience. A lot of our collections are very sensitive to how their content is used. We police their content for them. We make sure all approvals are in place and all clearances are in place for them. And you don't get that if you're doing this direct in many occasions. So why do you need AI to help me monetize my media? Well, AI is ideal for the growth that I was mentioning earlier. I mean, there's just huge growth in content creation. AI mines massive content stores for data and insight. The days of linear TV and terrestrial radio that I grew up on, obviously they play an enormous part in someone's content creation, but there's streaming audio and video, high-res images, HD, 4K, 6K, 8K, VR content, video and audio calls, podcasting, which is obviously massive now, social media streams, as well as archived and live content. We do an immense amount of work in the sports world. So obviously the most current Masters or French Open or March Madness is important, but so are all these amazing moments throughout the years. So AI can really take advantage of those moments as well. Here I just wanted to give you just a kind of a brief, we try to keep things simple at Veritone with what we're trying to do in terms of content management and monetization. It really starts with you folks when you shoot something, whether you decide to have it on-prem or in the cloud. You then may move it to a digital asset management. That could be one of our products, which we call Digital Media Hub, which I'll talk about later, or your own internal management tool. And this is where we start to use AI. We have over 300 cognitive engines from facial recognition, object recognition, text recognition, content classification, which I'm a big fan of because it gives you an idea of what the asset's really about. Transcription, like I said. And when you run these engines against this content, it's now becoming searchable, shareable, and monetizable. So in our minds, AI really truly helps maximize the value of your content. You extract data from media files. You save time by automating media data enrichment. You discover all the valuable moments stored in your archive. And again, they become shareable to others within your organization as well as outside your organization. And it enables discoverability for your end customers. Not less than 2 weeks ago, I had someone ask me, and I'm not kidding, they just wanted a video clip of Lyndon Baines Johnson's chief of staff. Now, 10 years ago, that would have probably taken us 10 days, and it literally took not even 1 hour. It probably took 10 minutes for us to train the facial recognition. But that's the kind of things that AI can do that has truly, I think, revolutionized and transcended content management and content monetization. So we talk about our toolkit that we try to provide you folks, and it really comes down to 2 products and services. The first is Veritone's Digital Media Hub. The second is content licensing. With Veritone Digital Media Hub, this is really a content platform. And what I really want to stress is that we customize this for you. This isn't some cookie cutter product that we unveil that we ask you to kind of insert your content and just go. We really try to customize it. There are folks, very big name production companies, who use it for internal purposes. They may use it to share within business units, within promotion or marketing. They'll use it to transfer things over to legal, to their business affairs. They use it for their dailies when they're shooting a project. Then we also have folks in the sports world who have a lot of corporate partners who spend a fortune to be aligned with these sports entities. So they'll use Digital Media Hub for those corporate partners to go in and to be able to look at their assets and say, okay, we might want to do a marketing campaign behind this moment or that moment. And finally, we have folks in the sports world who literally use it for distribution to their international broadcast partners. They also, an international broadcast partner can access this Digital Media Hub if possible, and they're allowed to actually go in and find moments. If there's a great press conference or maybe something from a practice that happened before an actual game, they're able to find these valuable gems, and this is all done through Digital Media Hub. Again, we use our 300 AI engines in here to make things more searchable and discoverable. Some folks even use Digital Media Hub as their own licensing platform. There's an e-commerce function that enables you to do your licensing through Digital Media Hub. However, my team is the content licensing team, and I believe our group, which has been around again for 18 years, I think the key to this group is we really alleviate the burden of content licensing, which, to be honest, if you're a big-time news organization or if you're a big-time sporting event, do you really want to take incoming requests day in and day out for your content? We take this on very seriously. We deal with premium content suppliers. I'll share a video of some of the folks that we deal with. But we have a team of industry experts. We basically take care of the production from pre-production all the way to marketing. Ken Burns, I'm sure many of you know, the incredible documentarian. We've worked on Ali. We've worked on the Vietnam War. He literally comes to us in the planning stages, and we'll start to, give him research, and then we'll do the legal terms and conditions with him. We'll provide the masters to him. We'll work on his marketing, whatever he's trying to do with marketing, and obviously rights and clearances, which is a big part of licensing. A lot of content may not be, it could be third-party content. There could be folks in there that need to be cleared. Here at Veritone, we take care of all of that. And these are just some of the projects we've worked on. In some cases, for Elvis, there was a couple of clips from CBS News back in the day when he was in the Army. They licensed that content. For Dear Mama, which is a docuseries about Tupac, we've sold a tremendous amount of content because it really drives the narrative, the story behind Tupac. So that's just some of the stuff that we've been doing. And I want to show you a quick video that gives you an idea of the kind of partners we've been working with in content licensing. Hold on.
We've got some difficult days ahead, but it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop.
Kennedy died at 1 p.m.
Trying to... Transfer to Corona and step back! At the buzzer! Young! Saved! And
Boston College! I don't believe it! It's a touchdown!
What's it up?
So yeah, that's just a list of, that's some of our partners. Some of them have been with us going on, like I said, 15 to 18 years, some 12 years, some are brand new. But it really, and our sweet spots are obviously, you could tell from that, news, sports, but we're always looking for new partnerships. Always, there's niche content that, we sometimes don't even think of. We've had discussions recently of things that I would probably not think of from a licensing perspective, but with the amount of content creation that we've discussed, it's just, there's so much opportunity out there, and we're really specializing it. So we would welcome the chance to talk to more of you about it. So I wanted to finish today with a couple of really cool use cases that I think can tell you a lot about our content monetization as well as content management. The first is the iconic, legendary sports franchise, the San Francisco Giants, who came to us with 60 years of an aging archive, and they really wanted to tag all of the content. And this was going to require a manual approach that was just beyond daunting, right? It would be too costly, and let's be honest, if someone's looking at that content day in and day out, is it going to be accurate? So we came up with what we called an AI-powered DAM solution, Veritone Digital Media Hub, to preserve their archive for future generations, surface never-before-seen moments to support their content strategy, and uncover new monetization opportunities. I think in the world of baseball, history is such an important part of the game. And they wanted, they had legendary players like Willie Mays and Willie McCovey and Juan Marichal, and they really wanted to sustain their legacy. So what happened was we accomplished 371 days of metadata work in hours. They estimated that they were going to have to hire 15 interns for a full year to get their heads around this project. And this is a story we hear day in and day out. Again, yesterday I think I spoke to 7 or 8 nice folks who had a similar story to this, and this is something that we can truly do. And I think, again, with content, with Digital Media Hub, and then with the licensing side of it, where we can generate revenue, you can recoup your revenue, and then with artificial intelligence, the searchability, which to me is the biggest hurdle in our business, it might not be cured, but it's much better than it's ever been before. I'd like to end with our last use case, which I mentioned earlier. This was our first corporate partner, the NCAA. They had 92 years of NCAA footage, and they really wanted a way to provide access to archive their content to broadcast partners, as well as monetize for third-party licensees for their corporate partners, as well as documentaries, films, TV. So we came up with our proprietary content management platform, DMH, and we provided licensing services. They were our first licensing partner. And they were able to offer a full breadth of sports coverage content in near real time and enabling great integration and monetization. Again, 92 years of footage, substantial revenue growth through licensing, now going on, like I said, 18 years. And the results have been they can activate their archive of content, resulting in substantial revenue growth annually through licensing opportunities for a variety of projects, including documentaries, films, and advertisements. I'll end with my favorite NCAA story. For those of you who have not seen it, I strongly suggest you go see the movie Air, which tells the story of Michael Jordan and how Nike basically made him the spokesman for they were a running sneaker for the most part, and they decided to have Michael Jordan be the face of their basketball brand. So they came to us in the pre-production phase, and they said, we want everything you have of Michael Jordan. Now, we obviously had a lot with NCAA March Madness. He hit the winning shot against North Carolina, passed on James Worthy, gave it to Michael, he drained it, won the championship. But we also had content through CBS News, through 60 Minutes. So what we did is we looked at our archive and we took advantage of our AI cognitive engines that I've brought up. We used object, so we could get anything with Nike. We used facial, so we could get anything that would have Michael Jordan's face. We used text, because if Michael Jordan is interviewed and they don't say his name, we still were able to pick up that asset. And finally, we used transcription, obviously, anytime his name was mentioned. And we were able to give them a very long list to their third-party archival researcher to say, this is everything we've got. Let us know what you think. And if you see the movie, I don't want to ruin it for you, there's a very important part where they decide Michael Jordan's going to be their guy, and you'll see our content featured in that sequence. So that about does it for me. I appreciate, again, you taking the time. I'll be fine to answer any questions you may have. Also, we have a booth that I'll be around to answer questions as well. So if you have any questions, let me know.